What's up, guys? Why do I always clap like that? It's like so weird. Okay. Hey guys, hey y'all, hands clapping. You know the drill. We are back, part 2 of the Coach Client series.
Yes, in this video, we're going to be going over how to be coachable, how to be a coachable client.
Which is, the first video was probably the most frequently asked question I get, and then this isn't also, this is the second most frequent question asked. You know what I'm saying. It's asked about a lot, and this is from current clients, just people in general, just like in passing, people seem to ask me about this. And I think this is so important because you'll hear some people like, oh, this didn't work.
Yeah,
or like, oh.
Like, this past coach I had sucked, but it's also a two-way street.
Yes,
you know?
Coaching is a relationship. Coach-client is a working relationship. So if you're looking for a great coach, what to look for, definitely refer back to the other video. But if not, we have 4 steps here for like how to be the best coachable client. So the first one would be communication, and this goes for everything. So when you have check-ins with your coach, whether it's, you know, written or it's a phone call or whatever it is, we need information in order to make changes. You need to be open and honest. How is your adherence? Like, what are you actually doing? Like, how are you feeling? Not like what you think someone said that you should feel, or
not what you think your coach wants to hear. Tell us how you actually are doing.
Yes, we need all this pertinent information so that we can make changes. And then most likely what you've gone through, we've probably gone through too, so we can actually help. But if we don't know that, then we can't make those changes.
Yeah, because we can't make, if you're giving us false information, we're making changes based on
or only half the picture.
Yeah, or we may not make any changes because you're not telling us how things are really going.
And this is something that I've developed over time as a coach, and I'm sure now you're realizing this too. Like, sometimes you have to dig deeper than maybe just the initial questions. Like, so sometimes it's like there's a normal update and then we can make changes based off that. But then sometimes I'm like, hey, I need to know X, Y, Z, and then I can give you like what to do, like A, B, and C. Yeah. And sometimes it's as simple as like, hey, send me like what you've been eating for a few days. Because like we do macros, as far as like macro coaching, we don't write meal plans, but it is very important.
Yeah, the food quality is also important. So
what are you eating? Like, are you not eating before training and you're talking about how training's bad? I mean, there's these little things that kind of come up, and communication is absolutely key.
Yeah, and there can also be some miscommunication. So ask questions. Yes. If you're unsure about something, if you're unsure about the macros or the refeeds or anything, ask as many questions as you want. Yeah. You know, because we want to be on the same page always.
Yes. And number 2
is to trust your coach. Yes. So trust the plan, trust the coach, and this is pretty imperative for progress. So you're gonna be doubting yourself and doubting your coach if you don't trust them from the start. And this kind of goes along with the first video with choosing a coach. You want to choose a good coach so you can trust a good coach. Yeah.
If you have a bad coach, obviously you don't want to trust them. And again, a lot of times it's not necessarily a bad coach. Like, they might be like not the working relationship just isn't good, or maybe it's just not a fit for you at that time. There's a lot of reasons, and I don't want to like bash people who are like, oh, fucking bad coach. Like, no, like so there's a lot more layers to it than that. Some people are downright bad at coaching, hands down, for sure. But some people are good coaches, it's just not a good situation. Yeah. So, but trust is important because, there's going to be a lot of times where, you know, you're second guessing yourself. But if you're constantly, chronically stressed and worried about that, well, then you're definitely not going to make any progress. Yeah. Like, that is a quick way to not make any progress. Number 3, this is, I think, one of the most important and kind of underrated things, is taking this seriously. Okay? You need to take ownership. Yeah. Extreme ownership. Extreme ownership. I feel like you can't say it. Extreme ownership. You can't just say it like regular. And if you guys don't know the reference, I talk about it all the time. You have to read.
Book ever.
I know. So Jocko Willink, Leif Babin, get it. Audiobook and written book. You need the book if you haven't gotten it.
Thank us later.
Seriously, tag us, thank us. It's the best thing ever. Actually, just tag Jocko and them because they're way better than I.
They wrote it.
Yeah, they wrote it. But so take ownership of what you're doing. You know what I mean? Take the plan seriously. Take responsibility for this. You can hire a coach. You can hire the best coach in the world. Spend $5, $10,000. I don't care.
It doesn't matter if you're not doing your part. If you're not being adherent, if you're not following the plan and doing what you need to do, it's not going to matter.
We can't come in and make sure you go to sleep on time. We can't come in and prep all your meals. We can't come in and make sure you're killing it in the gym. Yes, we can coach you on habits and skills and what to do, but ultimately you have to do that work. So a good coach will coach you on these habits and how to actually get better, right? They won't just say, oh, just here it is. They will coach you through that, but you have to put in that work afterwards. And that, I think, is a realization that some people come to maybe you know, before they hire you, or some people come to it like mid-coaching, or sometimes even after, and then they're like, oh shit, I didn't really maximize this. And if you want to maximize your time with a coach, no matter how long you're working with them, you need to take this as seriously as possible.
Yeah, you know, it's, as we said, it's a relationship, but it's also an investment, you know, an investment in your future, in your health, in your fitness, anything. You know, you want to take that seriously because you're investing your money in it. You know, you want to get the most out of this experience.
Yeah. And then ultimately you can help other people too afterwards, you know, like maybe a little bit different, but now you'll be more educated if you've gone through it, and then you have like, you know, a friend or a coworker or a family member who's like, hey, you know, how did you get through this? And then you can help them. So it's all about basically helping and educating people in a large scale, but you have to first take it seriously and take every single thing about coaching seriously.
Yeah, and that brings us to number 4, which is being open to new ideas. Yeah, be open to trying new things, be open to experimenting, because, you know, I think something that I like about Team Loco Fit is that we are open to experimenting with clients. You know, if something's not working, or if we want to try something new, we want our clients to be open to that. And, you know, it may be beneficial in the future. You know, it's going to be weird at times. You know, maybe it's not what you did a year ago. What you did a year ago doesn't necessarily matter.
It's not going to work always right now. And sometimes it will. And this was honestly the hardest part as a coach, because when you come up and you're new, it's very scary. Because I didn't, you know, like I had people who were, you know, I was close with, but it wasn't like I was necessarily like being mentored by them. So I didn't want to do something that was so crazy and off the wall, like, oh my God, is this going to work or whatever. And finally one day I was like, you know what? People want results. You know what I mean? So as long as I'm taking an educated approach to something and saying, hey, based on these variables, I think this is what's happening. Let's try this. And guess what? If it doesn't work, then you can try something else afterwards and go back to it. Obviously, this is within reason. This is still healthy, not dangerous, not scary. I mean, like nothing like that. Like nothing super off the wall. But I've radically changed people's programs sometimes, and that's what they need. You know what I mean? And sometimes it doesn't work either, and then we got to figure out something else. And that is okay. But you have to be willing to make an educated decision on changing something. And as the client, you have to be open to that, because that is really the biggest thing that I've seen people struggle with. And I've even struggled with it too early on, like, oh, I don't know if I want to try that. This worked before, it'll work now.
Yeah, you know, at the end of the day, like, whether it works or not, you're still going to be learning more about how you operate, how you respond to things. And, you know, us as coaches, we learn about that too. We learn more from trying things with our clients. You know, we're only going to get better from experimenting with different approaches like that.
Yeah, so, different approaches, different body types, different genetics, different situations. And even, so the one thing I see a lot of people, oh, I did this last year. Okay, your life could be completely different last year. You might have a new job, a new relationship, new city, new training. I mean, literally there's so many
stressors.
Yeah, new stressors. You're older, your metabolism's different, your hormones, like literally endless things could be different. So yes, we can use it as a range. Like for example, like for an easy thing, it's like, okay, most people who compete, they know kind of their rough body fat numbers and you know, body weight numbers they need to get to, right? That could change, but roughly it's around the same amount. That's really probably the only thing that's going to be super similar. You know, you kind of know, okay, I need to kind of be around here for my goal. Or if you've dieted, if you're not a competitor, you've dieted before, and you're like, hey, I kind of like this goal weight, this is where I want to be. That could change, but roughly you have an idea. But how you get there could look completely different than last time.
Yeah, you know, don't hold on to what you did so tightly back like 6 months ago, a year ago, because that's always subject to change. You know, you may not respond the same to HIIT cardio as you do to low intensity. So,
and then it could be different between people. Like I could respond different than her, and I know that's true because we have different body types, different body compositions. I mean, so many different things. You know, so you can't compare your own journey to somebody else's, nor should you compare your own journey to the same your previous journey. So thank you guys for watching this. I really hope this is helpful, because I know a lot of people obviously have coaches and they want, how can I get the most out of my coaching? How can I be coachable? So if you didn't listen to the first one, go check that out. And then we got one more coming on. It's going to be a Q&A, and there's like coach-client questions that I put out on my Instagram, so we're kind of picking the top questions. I know, I love Q&A. So thank you guys for tuning in, and we'll catch you next time.
Bye.